So this is a slide of yours?
Yeah.
Well, but at least we can have the different focal length. It's not really thick, but
Yeah. It'll work the same for a thicker one. Okay. All right, so with Z control, we can make an EDOF image. So EDOF stands for extended depth of field. And basically, you're acquiring a series of Z images, and the software is going to use an algorithm to look for the Z position in focus for each XY point. Does that make sense?
But there's no pinhole, right? So you're not getting. I mean, this is obviously not fluorescence, anyways. But you're not. You're gonna get a lot of.
But you're getting an extended focus image.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
for
so
example, your beetles.
because
Right.
you're comparing to like a confocal,
Right.
where you're using a physical pinhole to
Sure.
minimize the focal plane. In this case, it's using an algorithm to predict
I
what's
see.
out of focus.
Okay, I see.
So
You're
it's-
digitally accomplishing basically the same thing.
That's right.
Got it.
So
What are we looking at, by the way?
This is.
I think this
Doesn't
is,
matter. If
it's
you know
kidney.
offhand, it was fine.
I don't. I actually get these from customers usually, and
Looks like muscle or something.
yeah, it's H&E stain something.
Yes, but it's not really.
I may have something.
No, it's
A
fine.
little.
Don't.
Well, there's not a lot
We
of contrast.
need something thicker. For example, if you want to image fruit flies,
Right. No,
it's
I get it.
nice because you have the stereo image
Yeah, there's some depth.
and the depth of field.
Yes.
Mm. Yeah.
Looks like
Yes,
terrazzo.
but in that case we will need to have like
Looks like terrazzo.
a different light source.
Yeah, if you have illumination from above,
Yes.
you can look at some opaque things. Oh, actually,
Yes, we
Let's
can
do
use.
that.
I was thinking about that light.
I didn't notice it until right now.
No, we
Yes.
can totally jury-rig that. That's cool.
So let me see.
My kids sing. If you ever played Portal, the video game,
Yeah. No.
there's a
What is
song.
Portal?
It's like you're a test subject and you have this gun that like you shoot a portal on a wall and you shoot another portal somewhere else and you can jump between them.
Or I don't know if you want to look at the letters.
There's a song about science. You do all the science. My kids sing it.
That's pretty cool.
All right, so there's this setting here, which says calculate extended depth of field image. I'm going to turn that on. Yeah, look. Let me see, why do I not have this? Am I going up or down? Or do you want to go all the way down? Yeah,
Yeah.
like that, that's good. And then go all the way up. Alright, so that's good.
So you're setting your Z and beginning points.
Right, so the idea is that you want to have Z-stacks through the entire specimen. So I always recommend starting at the bottom and then marking the top. That way you're pushing against gravity.
And can you use your mouse to select the top and the bottom without really me manually changing the focal plane?
What do you mean?
Can you just enter the number in there?
Oh yeah, you could type it in.
Or can you move that like you do in a compound microscope that you are moving the focal plane
with this?
yes.
Sure. Yeah, you can do it that way. It's probably just going to be a little slower.
Okay. So you're better off.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you can see it's moving there.
Yes.
The adjustment's just not as coarse. Now, for thinner specimens, that may even be
Yes. exactly.
ideal. Okay, so you kind of get this. Okay, so we're gonna have to do a system optimized number of slices through the stack. Now, this can sometimes take a while. If it's basically a really thick specimen, it's obviously gonna have to do more stacks. So if you want to minimize that, you can define the number of steps. For fluorescence, you might consider that. For color image, I would just have system optimized. And then it's showing you the full travel range in microns between the bottom and top point. This is pretty thick, what we're
Yes.
doing.
Yes.
So, all right, so with this on, system optimized, let's just push start and see what happens. And you'll see it move to the lower position.
Yes.
And here you'll see that it's moving through Z.
Ah, okay.
You see how it's moving across the screen?
Yes.
It's because there's parallax, right? The right path is converging at an angle, so as it's moving down, the focal plane's moving with it.
But then you can stitch them into one XY, yes, XY image with a depth of field.
Yeah, I'll show you. All right, so it's then acquiring. You can go to open projects. It's still calculating it. That's our multifocal image.
Okay,
That's pretty cool.
okay. And you'll see for, I don't know, when you do dissections.
Yeah. No, it's cool.
That's nice, isn't it?
I like that you can see the little hairs or whatever.
Yes. Okay, perfect.
You can
And
see
then
it.
the other thing that I want to see is a time lapse.
Got it. All right, so, but just to review here, is everyone okay and you all understand kind of how you do this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, if we were to put a different specimen, you would essentially mark the bottom, click begin, right? You'd set that point, and then you'd mark the top and push end again, right? And we can trash these points between
Yes.
our acquisitions. All right?
How'd you do that? The
Trash-
trash can.
trash can.
Got it.
Okay.
And so, what's the deal with saving files and all the rest of it before because we just made a big image.
Yeah, this one, actually it's not too bad, 13 megs. This one's big, right? The series of Z is a bunch. So this, if you're gonna save one, I'd save the multi-focus and just delete the series afterwards. But nonetheless, you can define where things are saved with this tab under project tree. So if I
Can we save to like a box folder?
you can save on the network.
Or do we have to save onto the computer and then drag it to the box essentially?
Ask
Probably
Abel.
better to do
I think
that.
he can do it. I think he can map it to this network drive.
I know we've had trouble getting to do that for the Candy Doc.
Well, but
Is that right?
Doc is because it's a Linux and it's an open, it's a
Right.
closed
It's a
system.
closed system. We should be able to do it here. Plus it's
Yes.
a PC.
And I think that in our case, each one of us have our own box.
Definitely.
So we go to the box, and if it's not in the box, it's going to be deleted because it's not frozen. You see what I'm talking about? Because you're,
system deletes.
because you're logged
Oh,
in
right,
with your
right,
account,
right,
so the
right.
system is going to delete your stuff. So if
Yes.
you don't get used to it, sorry.
Lose your data.
No, it'd just be nice if we could just automatically do it without having to do it and then drag it. That's all. But it's fine.
I think on box you do have to update it.
You have to update it,
I don't think that you can
You can't save it. Right?
select that as a drive.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a couple things that I need to save directly.
I have
Box,
my
and
own
I have to
reason.
save
So
it
you
on my.
always-
I have to save it on my laptop
Yeah.
and then upload it.
Yes, I think that you always do upload,
Yeah.
but we can ask.
The inventories and stuff like that would be useful to be able to.
I make box folders for all my students for my own lab. So.
I need to ask you about that.
So just real quick here. So first of all, click save if you want to save it.
Okay.
I can make that default to save everything. I normally wouldn't do that though.
Yeah,
No,
I
no,
would
no,
do,
no.
I would not do that either.
No, because we're going to have lots of students.
So if you don't click save, you don't lose anything. It's just going to go in a temp folder that will be overwritten.
Okay.
Got it. So what happens if you close this program without doing that? Or we got a surge power production?
It'll be in that temp folder.
Okay.
So you can find it.
Does it autosave? Like how often?
It autosaves when you acquire
Okay.
You're fine.
into the temp folder. It'll move that into your personal
When
folder
you put
wherever
it
you
in.
choose to save it
Okay.
when you click save.
And in our case, perhaps we may want to save it in sign out. Well, I don't know. So, no, I think that we are better off in box.
Yeah.
Because sign out,
Sign out, you have to
we need to
upload.
pay for the cloud space.
Right, whereas box is free for us.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, and just to revisit, this is how I got there. So we're in acquisition tab and jump back to open project. So that's
Okay.
where your data is. Okay, now real quick here too, if we right click and go to properties, we can look up all the acquisition
Yeah.
settings here. It's gonna give you the physical size, so on and so forth. And then information about the camera settings. So just so you know, that's all there,
And-
including the zoom position.
And so this scale bar should then be accurate.
Yes, yeah, this should be accurate. So we can draw. So, well, here's the deal. That's gonna be.
Because I would like to be able to do a scale bar. It'd be nice.
So there's the scale bar. The problem is the background there is white.
You can't change the color.
Yeah, you can. So I'm gonna change it to black.
Oh, I see. It was there, but you just couldn't see it.
Right.
And you have to draw it. You can't just like specify. I guess you can just
What do you mean? Specify the size?
like I don't know. Finding the angle's annoying. It's just nice if it just pops up as a flat
As a
scale
flat
bar that I
line.
can then say, oh, I want it to be
100.
100 or 110 or whatever, rather than having to draw it each time.
Oh, I see what you mean.
I mean, I can see you can change the
I
angle.
think-
You can make
yeah,
it 0, whatever.
yeah,
It's just,
right,
It'd
right.
be nice if you just like clicked it and it just showed up, and then I could alter it if I wanted.
Let's play with that real quick.
It's not something to spend a million years on. It's just
I think it will show up in all of the acquisitions once it's there. Let's just require another one.
Second save. I know I'm barraging the questions here.
Sure.
Second saving question. So this is being spit out as a proprietary Leica format, or how does this go?
It's being spit out as a LIF.
A what?
LIF, L-I-F.
So that's a Leica.
Like
image.
whatever, sure. And you can see the scale bars there. So if you've got it on the screen, it's going to show up in all of them.
Right.
Okay.
So if I want to use this on if I want to look at stuff on my computer,
Yeah, just use ImageJ or Fiji.
so they'll convert to like TIFF or JPEG or whatever Fiji will for say. for instance.
Fully converted. All of the scaling will be correct.
Will this guy spit it out as TIFFs or whatever?
You can. I mean, I wouldn't do that because once it's TIFF, you lose all the scaling info.
No, as like a
No,
second
but
file.
for example, as a second file.
As a second file.
Yeah,
you
sure.
export.
Because that's
Sure.
what I used to do with Nikon. Is I would
Yes.
save it as a NIS or whatever,
And
and then
then
export it as a
as-
TIFF or whatever.
Yeah, you just go export TIFF.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just to
Do
save.
you want to send it to somebody?
Because if I just want to do
Sure.
Photoshop and I don't want to deal with ImageJ or Fiji, let's say.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And then the scale bar though, how does that work? And then I have to like, can you burn that?
The scale bar is burned.
You can burn it to the image. Now, if you're doing figures, I always
I
did
wouldn't.
mine in Photoshop.
I do mine in Photoshop. I
Right.
always have a thing that's saved.
Yes, but
Yeah.
How do
but
I
you
do
want
that?
to have one at least with the.
To save
Scale
like a
bar.
10 micron bar, whatever.
Yeah. So what I would do is just have one in one of the images, and then you can just draw your
Go draw it and do it in Photoshop.
Photoshop
That makes
line.
sense.
Yeah, and
Okay.
it'll be with it when it's exported.
And you can, how do you burn?
What do you mean?
So that if I make a TIFF,
When you export,
gonna
it's,
be on
it's
there.
already burning.
It should be there anyway. Let's try it. I think it'll ask you if you want, micron
Okay.
scale.
so it's a choice to leave it on there.
Right. Let's see.
I see, and it even.
I think you can do colors.
Okay, I can play with that.
Yeah. But when you go to export, that'll be there. So I would have at least one image with it, and then you'd crop that part out and just use it in Photoshop.
Photoshop as you
Yeah.
want, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's something to keep in mind, because when you are